Living in a fast paced world with over 8 billion people, it's very easy to be overlooked, undermined, trampled on, and pushed aside. My name is Mowa.mi, and I'm really passionate about helping you feel seen. I really hope that this podcast and every episode that comes your way reminds you that you are truly one in a million.
Hi, you're welcome to a beautiful episode of the Million and One podcast. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. If this is not your first time here, you're welcome back, my G. I really hope you've had an amazing time. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. First off, I would like to celebrate something. We hit 70 subscribers on Spotify. Yay! And that's a big deal for me because I can imagine gathering all 70 of you in a room to speak. That is massive. And also, I've been seeing some numbers on our social media. You know how they say, to whom much is given, much is expected. And it just goes to show that our community is building and we have something. All right. And it's really encouraging to me and to see more and more people join the community and remember that they are truly one in a million. So that's a big one for me. Talking about community, I'd like to share some news with you. Remember when I said that one of the things I want this podcast to be is I want it to be a place where no one goes unseen. I want it to be a place where people can get to interact. They remember that they are truly one in a million. That's what I'm always emphasizing on it. Well, um, and because of that, we had the whole Google form, and our social media is always open for comments, for dilemmas, to just talk and all of that. Well, I received news that one of our listeners, um, our international listeners, got back to Nigeria, um, passed over the last week, and it was really tough for me. But I mean, I'm glad that in his lifetime he was able to be a part of our beautiful community. And I remember when he would always share comments and say how that he really enjoyed the podcast. And basically, I'm glad he had an opportunity to share the things he could share while he was alive. And I'm saying that to encourage you, you know, to if you have something that's bothering you, if you have a dilemma, if you have anything, it's really the podcast is really here for you. Your experience, exposure, and education can never make any other person as unique as you are. And in the same light, happy Mental Awareness Day. Um, yeah, I really hope that you take the time to declutter, take the time to um, think things through, breathe, literally breathe. There's so much happening at the same time, and it can make you feel overwhelmed. It can make you feel big emotions, like teachers would always say that young teachers of children in the young category, they always say big emotions. It will make you feel big emotions, and most times we are not taught how to navigate through our 20s, our 30s, and our late teenagehood. Sometimes we're just left to figure out things for ourselves, and that's why there's a community like this for you. So, happy Mental Awareness Day and happy International Day of the Girl Child to all our big girls and all our little girls, all our big mommies, big aunties, mothers, daughters, sisters, cousins, nieces, teachers. I almost said pastors, but it's nothing like pastors. Pastors, female pastors, movie directors, musicians, not musicians, musicians, filmmakers, content creators, teachers, nurses, doctors, in any field you find yourself. I really hope that you're thriving, and you're striving to be better than you were before, and all of the good stuff. How was my weekend? Hmm. My weekend was a lot of things. So I made my hair. Yes, I made my hair. I locked. like with padlock, but it's temporary. Sha. I locked my hair last week, I think on Tuesday. Then, yeah, Tuesday. Um, I saw my brother, which I haven't seen in a long time. Then I traveled for my friend's wedding. So remember the episode we had with Sandra, and we spoke about friendship. Yeah, I traveled for her wedding. She's married now, guys. I literally cried when she was sharing. I was not like cry, like cry, cry. I shed a few tears because it was so beautiful. Love is a beautiful thing, guys. So beautiful, beautiful. And she looked so happy, and I'm just really, really happy for her. So big shout out to Sandy. When you're on this show, you were Sandra won't come on, but guess what? Your name has changed. So big shout out to you, Sandy, baby, on your wedding. I really hope for God's best for you, God's plans for you and your marriage come to fruition. And yeah, amen. Amen and amen. Then I almost said I bruised like past tense of breeze. I breezed into just breezed back. I think the whole journey stress, my dear, that's Aminakara road is terrible. If you're anybody that wants to travel to Jos, tell the person to, my dear, if you know anybody that wants to travel to Jos, tell the person to go and pass another road because I feel like if you are pregnant and you pass that road, by the time you reach your destination, something else is gonna be in your stomach. Maybe air, definitely not the baby, but that's on a lighter note because, and especially because the vehicles that apply that road, their shock absorbers are terrible. So please, please and please can't pass on that road. So yeah, I took Monday, Tuesday to just recuperate because it was a lot. Imagine doing that journey in a very short time, and of course you won't get to sleep because of course preparations and all of that. Anywho, yeah, that was how my weekend was. I really hope yours was great. By the way, um, I'm repeating this thing again. Our DM, our email list is open. DM is open for you to um send in stuff. Send in stuff. I'm tempted to say don't die alone. You are important. Sending stuff. Talking about being important, you know, I used to think I was very inconsequential, my dear. A whole human being. Oh, I used to feel like I can just disappear and nobody will know. Like, what made me think that? I think it was because I was trying not to be proud. And I swung to the other end of the pendulum. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go and nobody's going to know. And I forgot that I'm actually a whole human being with brain, blood system, thinking faculty, emotions. And um, although it was a good thing not to try to be proud, I just, it's a very funny place to be. I just felt like not even a pencil in the hand of the creator, a speckle of dust. And it's not just to humans, like to God, like I beg, what is man? What is Moa? But then, that's one of the things I really like about my faith. It's that it gives me some sort of assurance. Right now the world is telling us to be individual, do me, do you, do you, do ourselves, just do your thing, just be going, just be going, just be going, just self this one, self-love, self, and we don't realize that that's all self-sabotage in the end because we are created to be interdependent. Now, joining this thought to me saying I'm inconsequential, I realized that I need you, you need me. That was way off, but you get the point. We're all a part of one body. And should I tell you one thing that also made me realize I'm not inconsequential? It was this whole marriage thing because I'm like, just to get married, why are we gathering the whole Nigeria? Like everybody literally wants to see because it's you can't just move. Like you can't just lose and people will not know and people will not care about you. So I'm not saying one way to know that you are very important is that you should get married, but I'm saying one way to remind yourself of your importance when life or circumstance wants to make you feel like you're just trash is to look around you. And one thing I used to ask myself is if I am not here, what is the worst that can happen? And I know that when it comes to like physical activities, they can probably get someone else to get the job done. but that particular flavor, that particular fragrance that I bring, that particular expression that I have, like I said in the beginning of this podcast, no other person has the education, exposure, and almost an entertainment, and education, exposure, and what's the last word? Experience. Yes, that you have, no one else has it, and that makes you as unique as you are. So I'm just going to go ahead and read some reviews from the last episode that we had. Oh, this says this is from Emmanuel. It says, if I must say, this episode is first an amazing one, and it was so natural you had to sneeze. LOL. Yeah, I had a cold. What also caught my attention was the presentation. Although you said you were not allowed and shouting like Jim Jim, your presentation was just the best. Vocal expression, touching the emotion of pain. Sounds like, don't worry, I know how you feel, and I've got the right solution for you. Sincerely, this whole episode gives a promise it came with. It leaves you feeling better as hope. Oh, and hope comes in a gentle and soothing way. Words and time fail me to talk about the things you said, but thank you so much. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. God bless you. It really does a thing or two for me to see your response. David says, I love this episode, my favorite so far. Thank you so much, David. Well, that's the thing. When I release another episode, you're gonna say the next episode is your favorite. But then, it only gets better. Um, with that being said, basically this episode is just to congratulate our guys and our girls. You know, the whole mental health thing, and just to remind you that you're one in a million. No, no, I must say no long thing, but that's the Banji's line. Is that even a word? The Banji's line. Anywho, with that being said, I'll see you in the next episode. Next episode, we have a beautiful guest. We're going to be talking all things music and all of the great stuff. Also, I said I was going to ask you, um, do you mind seeing us? Do you mind the podcast moving to YouTube? Would you want visuals? Would you watch the whole length episode? Because we are planning to move to YouTube. We just want to know if we should do IG and TikTok for now, just short form content, or you really want to see the full. Also, if you want to see my beautiful face, you can also let me know in our I said Google Podcast, in our forms, Google Forms, and our DM. With that being said, catch you in the next episode. This is me literally lifting up a a glass, a kind of malt actually. But guess what? If it was visuals, you would have seen me. So please respond, and we'll know what we will be doing with ourselves. Mwah! Bye.